Yo, what's going on, everybody, man? I hope that you all enjoyed today's video. By the title and thumbnail, you already know what to expect. I don't got to do too much talking. Let's go ahead and get into it.
We switched timelines. That's why all the Mandela effects have been happening.
And do you think of when you see these pizza rolls? Yeah, I'll give you a minute. Now, if you're from my timeline, you would have said Tostinos. It's Totinos.
What?
Where did the S go? And you guys know Jordan sneakers, right? The logo always had shorts, but supposedly it's always been pants? How does that even make sense? Who plays ball in pants? And wasn't the Mississippi River the longest river in the U.S.?
Yeah.
Well, supposedly it's the Missouri River. By the way, comment down below, what's a better fruit? Watermelon or pineapple? Let's see who wins this war. And I know I am not tripping. Y'all cannot tell me that the Energizer Bunny has had its battery on its leg the whole time. I kid you not. It's always been on its back.
I could have sworn. Like, come on now. We could go to the old Energizer Bunny commercials to confirm a lot of this stuff. But y'all let me know down. Do y'all remember, do y'all confirm or deny any of these situations? I feel like I can definitely deny the whole Tostinos because I could have sworn it was an S. Like, I don't know. Maybe I couldn't read them cursive back then.
So, for example, you know how crazy they think I am? I'm about to say something that's about to mess everybody up here. You can Google this, right? NASA called me. NASA. Rockets, right?
NASA.
Yeah.
NASA.
Yeah.
Okay.
NASA hit me up like, yo, Clef, yo, listen, man, we sending a rocket to space, right? And then what it's going to do is it's going to record all these sounds. Then we're going to bring the sounds from space back to Earth. We ain't going to let too many people hear that. But what we want to do is know if you could put those frequencies in music and then start a healing mechanism through the music. So there's a record called Borrowed Time. Now, when you listen to this record, Borrowed Time, the mechanism and the sonics that's coming through it is from space. Now, remember the reason why I told you this is now, as crazy as this sound, the greatest healing, natural healing that we as humans have is natural vibration. You can heal yourself. They don't tell you that. But Google that. So I just want to tell you, the more crazier they think you are, that's when you up to something.
Wow, the fact that he basically confirmed that they know a lot more than they tell us, man.
I don't want to say too much because I don't want to show up missing, as they say. Miami police are clearing up.
What's with the air quotes?
Because you'll see, they're clearing up a conspiracy theory about a recent invasion. So this happened on New Year's Day. A large police presence caught on video. Now look at this. This was supposed to be for a fight in a mall. Look at all of these police officers that showed up. This video posted online. Eventually it came out. Maybe it was due to an alien sighting. That's what people in the mall were saying, claiming it was due to an alien sighting in the area. But what really happened? Look at all these police cars. Later on, police said it was a group of about 50 teenagers that started what they called a riot in the mall, setting fireworks and looting. The alien in this video was, they said, just a really tall person walking. Well, if there were 50 teens looting and setting off fireworks in the mall, where's the video of that?
Ooh,
there's not one video online. If I'm wrong, at me. I'll stand up. At me. There is not one video of 50 teenagers. Every time they get wild in Chicago, you see it on the news.
You do.
Every time they get wild in San Francisco or San Diego or wherever.
New York.
One of those sand cities in California, saying that they're smashing and grabbing everything they can see. There's video all over the place. Where is the video of people setting off fireworks in the mall?
And it's a mall. They have mall surveillance video. Where is the video?
Just show me one.
Just one.
Just show me one video, but they can't do it. And you know why?
Why?
Because it didn't happen.
What did happen?
10-foot beings. People say, people in the mall. Now, here is what's interesting. There are a lot of people who are on TikTok saying, I was in the mall. I saw the chaos after. The people are saying, I took video of all the people running in the mall when we were trying to get out, because, you know, once you see people running, you're supposed to run too. Their videos are gone. Everybody on TikTok who was in the mall is saying, I was taking video. I didn't know what was happening. The videos are not on my phone.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying, what if they were remotely white, allegedly? Now listen,
allegedly,
I don't want to say too much. Because I don't want to show up missing, as they say.
Yeah, you can say this.
Okay, go ahead.
If it was an alien walking down the street, where's the video of that?
People who are saying they took videos, the videos are no longer on their phones. The videos are no longer on their phones.
Why would they go to the mall again?
the coordinates
Okay.
to the mall, if you put them in reverse, take you to Antarctica. Maybe they mixed up the coordinates and they popped up in Miami instead.
Y'all know how I feel about that. I'm not too sure because that's somewhat of a double standard. Because he said if people recorded it, why didn't they record it? And everybody like, well, they're wiped from their phones. But it's still a situation where if there was either or going on, why wouldn't the police release footage of the inside of the mall incident? We were reported that there were teens doing this and we had to go investigate. Most people would have, especially Miami. You see, they releasing footage of all these rappers going to jail and them pulling them over and them going into Javante Davis' house and things like that. But why have there not been any footage released? That is my question, and that's something that I need to know. I don't care if it's just a clarification that there wasn't nothing that happened, but from both parties who have things to say, oh, there was something going on in Miami. Oh, there wasn't nothing going on in Miami Mall. Why would they go to Miami Mall? That's the same thing I got to say, but I'm not going to lie. The coordinates were in reverse. I'm going to need somebody to fact check that down for me in the comments below and let me know if what she said at the end was complete facts or was it just false.
Did you ever fry an egg on a cold stove? It's no trick at all if you have the right equipment. This is a cold hot plate. And because it's cold, you can make it out of wood, if you like. Just be sure that there's a coil of wire inside and that you connect that coil to a high voltage alternating current source. The rest is easy. As long as we're being different, we'll use motor oil instead of Crisco. The egg fries very quickly, but the stove remains perfectly cold. In fact, if you wish to keep it handy, you can fry your egg on the morning newspaper. With a gadget like this, you can get up in the morning, sit on the stove, read the morning newspaper, and fry the eggs in your lap.
I know for a fact that they have to have an invention like this now, but I've never seen it. I mean, I have a gas stove myself, but if this is released, what is this called?
Aliens at the Super Bowl.
Aliens at the Super Bowl this year. Let's get into it. My question was, could there be aliens at this year's Super Bowl? Super Bowl 58 on February 11th, 2024. What I found out might shock you. Check this out. Now check this out, man. This year's Super Bowl is at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Now I looked up the coordinates. Now check this out. This is deep, man. Check this out. Now I want y'all to look up at the coordinates, which will be this number. It said the latitude of Allegiant Stadium, Nevada, USA is 36.090794, and the longitude is -115-183952. Now check this out. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put these numbers in backwards and see what pops up. Because this is a Stargate number. All longitude and latitude numbers are Stargates. Check this out. Now check this out. What I did, I took them same numbers I just read off to you and I entered them in reverse. I seen a lady do this on TikTok.
He switched the number 3 and 6. If you was to put it in reverse, the ending of the number should have been 3 and not 6.
And she said for every coordinate you put in, you have to put the backwards coordinates in to see where the portal is going to take you. So anytime you open up a spiritual portal, you have to put the number in, longitude, latitude number, and then put the opposite, which is the reverse of that, in order to see where you're going to land at. Because if you don't put any coordinates into a Stargate or to a portal, a vortex, then it'll take you anywhere. So you have to put your exact location in. And let's see, when you put the numbers in backwards from Allegiant Stadium, let's see where it takes us to. Let's click on the map. Check this out, y'all. It's deep. Wait till the map pop up, okay? Y'all see the coordinates, right? I'm gonna click on that. right here. And watch this. I'm just going to shrink it down. Look at this. You see these? Take us to, I'm going to keep scrolling. I'm going to keep squeezing the map and shrinking the map. And let's look where it takes us to. Ukraine. So you put the backwards coordinates in to Allegiant Stadium, it takes you right to Ukraine. Now y'all see why they trying to clear Ukraine out. Remember, they took all the citizens of Ukraine, put them on trains and all that, and shipped them to America, shipped them to other countries so they can build the Stargate. The Stargate is now up. So Allegiant Stadium is now about to be the other side of the Stargate. So they're going to send them through Ukraine Stargate and they're going to land at Allegiant Stadium. Check this out. And for y'all to say that y'all never seen aliens in real life and y'all thought the stuff in Miami was a hoax, here go the AI robots at the football game.
Okay.
Look at this. These are real aliens, okay? Greys, Nephilians. Look at them. Just because they come in this form, you tend not to believe that these can be real. They don't have the power. Man don't have the power to build nothing like this. What? These are alien beings. They come in all forms, y'all, not just gray.
Okay, listen, y'all. Now, I was listening to him at first, but it's something that didn't really... This dude is obviously don't know what he's talking about. I mean, these were 100% actors. Like, y'all know how I am. I'm not finna just sit here and say everything is real just because it's there and it seems real, bro. It's going to have to make sense. We've touched this back. This was like all the way back in September when we did a reaction to this stuff, bro. And it was fake. This was makeup. This was to promote the movie The Creators, which is an amazing movie and that holds a lot of substance, but this was a movie promotion through actors. I feel like that they do put things in movie that they already have an idea of something that they would like to create or already have in creation.
And we have more clouds falling out of the sky. What? This video was directly sent to me from Tanzania. Check this out, y'y'all.
Tuko live hapa ni Morogoro, Tanzania. Nasemekanika mawingu yatua.
What is going on? Why are these things falling out of the sky? And lately, have you guys noticed there's been this huge blanket of clouds over the sky? I showed you guys how there's blue skies under these clouds. You know what I'm saying? Blue skies with different kind of clouds, and these clouds look different from the other ones.
That look like bubbles.
But check it. It looks like foam, but then again, it's not. Look at that. It looks just like clouds, y'all. Look at that shit. Yeah, it looks just like clouds. And then the way that it just literally floats over the next ones. This is crazy, y'all. What y'all think about this? This is so interesting. All over the world, clouds are falling down, y'all.
I feel like if a piece of the sky fell in my hands, I would honestly feel like Chicken Little.
Most Americans are the same as the British.
Well, our food supply is poison.
Yeah.
It was taken over by one group of people, and they own the rights to the seeds and all of that type of stuff, and they forced out all of these farmers. If their seeds blew onto their property, they could sue them for using their seeds. And the media just ignored all of that because they get paid by them. That's sort of what is going on globally, is everybody is just choosing money on the bag, as fucking kids say nowadays. That's what the problem is. Nobody is, you know, everybody's screaming and yelling about shit that doesn't matter. Like stand-up comedians. They'll yell about that, but they won't talk about literally people poisoning their own countrymen. I mean, they should be fucking put to death for what they did. There you go. There's a hot take.
They want to constantly promote things that don't matter. I feel like Tupac was probably one of the handful of rappers who really spoke about what's going on just even within the world, outside of just racism or outside of just within black people in general.
This influencer, Cosma, is massively popular in the Czech Republic. He's so popular, in fact, his YouTube series got its own movie. Now, Cosma's got a problem. He wants to promote this movie. He wants to do something big. And he's a clever guy, so he and his team come up with an idea. They're going to encrypt sort of a puzzle into this movie and hope that his followers find it and decipher it. That puzzle gives them the password to this vault with $1 million US in it. So whoever guesses the password gets the money. Not a bad idea. So he does that and he releases the movie, and it does really well for him. It beat out Barbie and Oppenheimer and set a weekend box office record. in the Czech Republic. So now people have seen the movie and they think they got it figured out. And lots of people stand in really long lines to try and enter this password into this vault. But everyone keeps getting it wrong. So Cosmo waits and he waits and he waits. But no one gets the password right. It's too difficult. And a bit of time passes. So there he is now, stuck with a massive box full of $1 million in cash. What's he gonna do with all that money? Poor guy. So he and his team come up with a new idea. Why don't they give the money to everyone who tried to crack the code the first time? If they can solve a new, hopefully easier encrypted puzzle. So he gets his $1 million in loose $1 bills and dumps it into one of those huge shipping crates. Then he sends an email to everyone who registered and tried to crack the code the first time. Look, I'm gonna drop this pile of money on you, but you gotta show up at this certain time at this certain location. And the location, of course, is the new encrypted riddle they have to solve. Then that big date rolls around. And at this point, Cosmo had reserved a helicopter, he's attached that big shipping crate to it, and he's hoping he can get at least one person who can solve this new puzzle. And did one single fan crack the new code and find the encrypted location?
Yeah.
No, not a single fan. A lot of fans. Allegedly over 4,000 of them. And they all show up and the helicopter flies overhead and it's got that big crate attached to it. And the crate opens up and it rains $1 million in loose $1 bills all over the crowd. And they're all going nuts and they're picking up the free money. They're like making their own videos about it. Let's go! Now, being a massive influencer in the Czech Republic, Cosmo of course films all this. And he posts it to his YouTube and his TikTok and it all goes super viral. Which ultimately gets his movie even more promotion. Also, shout out to the Czech Republic.
But I feel like if somebody would have did that in America, they would have shut that down. You know how the government get. Wow. Nah, that can't be real. Okay, now that's real. I'm telling you, their technology back then was way more advanced than it is now.
I'm watching Name That Tune. What happened to Randy Jackson? Because, hold on, let me just show y'all. Who is that?
What?
Right now. It's time to play Name That Tune.
Especially with this guy, it's Randy Jackson and the
Who is that?
I think this could be a hot one tonight.
Who is that, y'all?
Do you want to meet tonight's celebrities?
Who is that?
It's
I know I'm not tripping. I am not tripping here. That does not look normal. I am so sorry. Maybe he got sick. I don't know. And I'm not here to pass like judgment on anybody. That's not real. My eyes, I know what I'm seeing. There's just no way. I'm literally at a loss for words because that does not look real. I'm telling you right now, that is not real. And I know what I'm seeing right now. And I know I'm not going crazy. Like, I can't, I'm even nervous. Like, that's bad. I feel nervous.
I do hope and pray that he's not sick because y'all know the same thing that happened with, the Black Panther, when everybody was making fun of him when he's got skinny and looked different and things like that. And they were calling him a clone, but to find out he was fighting a battle, unfortunately, with cancer and things like that, rest in peace his soul. But I do hope that that's not the case with Jackson. But I mean, y'all let me know what y'all feel because that definitely looks pretty fishy if you ask me. Like it doesn't even look like the same him.
Again, Anunnaki, if you break the word down, Anu, who is the most high of the Sumerian doctrine, who had two sons, Enlil and Enki, and you're saying Anunnaki, the planet Earth was called Ki at one point. This is where you get G or Geo or geometry and all that comes from the word Ki, yeah? So what you're saying is Anu sent beings in groups of 50, that's what Na is, to the planet Ki. And they came here, but people just go Anunnaki, but like, okay, what does Anunnaki mean? And then you get confused unless you can break the word down in the language. You see?
Are y'all seeing this? Like the first time, second time, third time, okay, fine, fourth,
What is
fifth,
this?
okay. This is the 10th plane that is literally lit on fire mid-flight. I think that's too many times to be a coincidence, don't you? Even earlier, before I saw this, I was like, I'm not getting on a plane anytime in the near future. Because stuff like this. Doors flying off mid-flight. And I know y'all just saw this one.
Nah,
and
what
that's
is
not
that?
it with the planes, but I'm gonna show you something in 1 minute. Alright, you're not gonna understand this next clip for 1 second, but hang on.
The Second Amendment is under siege. I will never allow a central bank digital currency where they take away your money.
I show you that to say keep an eye on Trump's plane. Just do it, just in case. Just keep an eye on his plane.
We're going to let a Native American tell you the history. Watch this.
In Virginia in 1705, for instance, the government decrees that the child of an Indian will be known as a mulatto. That is, a person who's half white and Indian, half African and Indian will be a mulatto legally.
Okay, let me cut you off here because we don't want to keep you here all day.
There are several things that are significant about it. Of course, one of them is the way that colonialism tries to develop all kinds of elaborate classification terms for different kinds of people. But that's another subject. The most significant thing here is to reveal the much greater amounts of Native American ancestry that are present within the African American population than most people realize, because they might have been misled by the use of terms like mulatto and also people of color.
So this Native American knows that there's all kind of so-called Black Americans with indigenous roots, but y'all don't know that? Come on, man, let's make it make sense.
I want to ask you about a comment you made earlier this week. You said that America has, quote, never been a racist country.
When you look at, the Declaration of Independence, it was that, men are created equal. But what I look at it as is I was a brown girl that grew up in a small rural town. We had plenty of racism that we had to deal with. But my parents never said we lived in a racist country. And I'm so thankful they didn't. Because for every brown and Black child out there, if you tell them they live or were born in a racist country, you're immediately telling them they don't have a chance. And my parents would always say, you may have challenges. And yes, there will be people who are racist, but that doesn't define what you can do in this country.
You're talking about the ideals of America, but America was founded institutionally on many racist precepts, including slavery.
But when you look at said all men are created equal, I think the intent was to do the right thing. Now, did they have to go fix it along the way? Yes, but I don't think the intent was ever that we were going to be a racist country. The intent was everybody was going to be created equally. And as we went through time, they fixed the things that were not all men are created equal. They made sure women became equal too. All of these things happened over time. But I refuse to believe that the premise of when they formed our country was based on the fact that it was a racist country to start with.
Wow, this is amazing. A CNN host absolutely destroyed Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley for saying that America's never been a racist country. This takedown is fantastic. Take a look at it.
I'm surprised at that because that's part of our proud history as Republicans, the fight against slavery and struggle.
Can I just say something, though? I mean, we talk about this as if it is the past. We've covered stories where people have died, have been killed because of racism. Jacksonville, Florida, the Dollar Tree shooting. I mean, this is happening right now. And this is not just the Black community, right? The Japanese internment. I mean, those families and descendants are still here. My last name is Alford, not because my family chose that last name. That is the name of the slaveholding family that owned us. I know the plantation that we are from in South Carolina, and I am here. My father desegregated a school. He remembers those things. So why do we have to talk about it as if it is past? This is right now. The pain is real. The survivors of racism, we are here, right? And so if you don't have a message around that talks about the future, that talks about the present, You cannot lead this country.
Well, Republicans do have a message around it. And
it's to ignore it. It's
no.
to say that we are colorblind, which does not solve the problem.
But it is to say that we are undoubtedly a better and stronger nation on this front today than we were 10, 20, 40, 50, 150, 180 years ago. We are undoubtedly better as an American people than we ever have been, and that will be true again tomorrow. And
but
I think that was the point.
But why is it? It's not because we ignored it. It's because people called out what was uncomfortable, and they challenged the status quo, and they said we need to live up to what the American dream actually is. Those were the people who were demonized. We just celebrated Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King was killed. He was killed. He was not considered a favorite or a darling of America because he stood up against racism, against poverty. And actually, the greatest threat was that he was uniting poor white people, right, with poor people of color. That was the greatest threat to America, was that he was willing to bring us together. So again, we have to move past talking about this as if it is history, as if it's not happening right now. And when the Republican Party does this colorblind thing, you're gaslighting people. And they're going to react to that, and they're going to show it at the polls.
Yeah, powerful stuff, perfectly said, and that Republican that CNN had on didn't have any response. But look, for all of these Republicans in Congress, or Donald Trump, Ron DeSantis, and Nikki Haley who say that America's never been a racist country, you're wrong. The facts disagree with you, history disagrees with you, even if you want to ignore it. Like, she perfectly outlined the variety of examples in American history of which America was pretty racist. And look at all these Republicans who are supporting book bans in schools and libraries and more. They want to ignore the history. They want to pretend it didn't happen, but that's an injustice to the people who have suffered.
I'm not going to speak of anything politic here, but just speaking on a more personal, from me witnessing things firsthand standpoint, I understand a lot of things that was being said throughout this segment. Dang, yeah, that was crazy, bro. That was freaking wild. And I know that y'all can agree, but if you don't agree, then it is what it is. We're at the end of the video now, and I hope that you all enjoyed. If you enjoyed, please do me a huge favor and hit that. I said flavor. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to talk all fast and straight and perfect. I'm starting to mess up. But like I said, if you all enjoyed, do me a huge favor and hit that like button, man. And I'll see you all tomorrow.